following is the list of official public holidays recognized by the government of Russia. On these days, government offices, embassies and some shops are closed. If the date of observance falls on a weekend, the following Monday will be a day off in lieu of the holiday. Official holidays New Year holiday in addition to New Year's Day on January 1st, January 5th are public holidays as well, called New Year holiday. The holiday includes January 6th and 8th, with Christmas being January 7th, declared as non-working days by law. Until 2005, only 1st and 2nd January were public holidays. Christmas Day Christmas in Russia is observed on January 7th, as a public holiday according to the Julian calendar used by the Russian Orthodox Church. The public holiday was re-established in 1991, following the decades of suppression of religion and state atheism of the Soviet Union. Christmas on December 25 is celebrated in Russia by the Roman Catholic and various Protestant churches, but is not a public holiday. But despite it not being a public holiday, it is a popular holiday. Defender of the Fatherland Day The Defender of the Fatherland Day is celebrated on February 23, and is a day of the armed forces of the Russian Federation. The holiday was established in 1918. International Women's Day On the eve of World War I campaigning for peace, Russian women observed their first International Women's Day on the last Sunday in February 1913. In 1913, following discussions, International Women's Day was transferred to March 8 and this day has remained the global date for International Women's Day ever since. National Flag Day The National Flag Day is an official holiday in Russia, established in 1994. It is celebrated on August 22, the day of the victory over putschists in 1991, but it is not a day off. Spring and Labor Day In the former Soviet Union, May 1 was International Workers' Day and was celebrated with huge parades in cities like Moscow. Though the celebrations are low-key nowadays, several groups march on that day to protest grievances the workers have. Victory Day May 9, Russia celebrates the victory over Nazi Germany, while remembering those who died in order to achieve it. On May 9, 1945, the German military surrendered to the Soviet Union and the Allies of World War II in Berlin. Victory Day is by far one of the biggest Russian holidays. It commemorates those who died in WWII and pays tribute to survivors and veterans. Flowers and wreaths are laid on wartime graves and special parties and concerts are organized for veterans. In the evening there is a firework display. A huge ground and air military parade, hosted by the President of the Russian Federation, is annually organized in Moscow on Red Square. Similar ground, air and marine parades are organized in several other Russian cities. Russia Day Russia Day is the national day, celebrated on June 12. On this day, in 1990, Russian Parliament formally declared Russian sovereignty from the USSR, which declared complete state independence. Russian independence was less radical, and coexistence of Russian and USSR state power had a place until the end of 1991. The holiday was officially established in 1992. Initially it was named Day of the Adoption of the Declaration of Sovereignty of the Russian Federation. On February 1, 2002 it was officially renamed to Russia Day. There exists a misconception in Russian society, that this holiday is also called Russia's Independence Day, but it never had such a name in official documents. According to the survey of Levada Center in May 2009, 44% of the respondents named the holiday as Independence Day of Russia. Unity Day Unity Day was first celebrated on November 4, 2005, commemorates the popular uprising led by Kuzma Minin and Dmitry Pozharsky which ejected the Polish invaders from Moscow in November 1612, and more generally the end of the time of troubles and foreign intervention in Russia. The event was marked by a public holiday which was held in Russia on October 22 from 1649 till 1917. Its name alludes to the idea that all the classes of Russian society willingly united to preserve Russian statehood when its demise seemed inevitable, even though there was neither Tsar nor Patriarch to guide them. Most observers view this as an attempted replacement to counter communist demonstrations on November 7 holiday, which marked the anniversary of the October Revolution. National Unity Day is also known as Consolidation Day, which people in Russia celebrate on November 3, November 4. Regional public holidays. Muslim regions Kurban Bayram, Uraza Bayram. List of holidays and commemorative days. Popular holidays which are not public holidays: New Year according to Julian calendar on January 14, death anniversary of Vladimir Lenin and Bloody Sunday on January 21 to 22, Tatiana Day on January 25, Valentine's Day on February 14. Miss Lent's start date changes every year, depending on the beginning of the Great Lent. Internal Troops of Russia Day on March 27. Easter in each year is calculated on a lunisolar calendar. Annunciation on April 7, Cosmonautics Day on April 12, Soviet Air Defense Forces Day on the second Sunday of April, Russian State Fire Service Day. On April 30, Radio Day on May 7, Saints Cyril and Methodius Day on May 24, Border Guards Day on May 28, celebrating the anniversary of the border service of the Federal Security Service of the Russian Federation, Ivan Kupala Day on July 7, Paratroopers Day on August 2, Savior of the Apple Feast Day on August 19, Great Feast of the Dormition of the Mother of God on August 28, Enlightenment Day and Orthodox Church New Year on September 1, Tankers Day on the second Sunday of September, October Revolution Day on November 7, Naval Infantry Day on November 27, Christmas Day on December 25, Emergency Workers Day on December 27, celebrating those working in the Ministry of Emergency Situations on the anniversary of its foundation in 1990. See also, Public holidays in the Soviet Union, Days of Military Honor. References. External links, Russian national holidays, Russian holidays traditions to send gifts and flowers to Russia, official days off for public holidays in Russia, public holidays and bank holidays for Russia, holidays and observances in Russia, Consulate General of the Russian Federation in Houston.